Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another mock draft, continuing our series of mock drafts. You guys absolutely love these videos, consistently giving it, so much support on them. Just let you know before we get into the mock draft, means the world if you can subscribe, like the video. We're smallest channel. We do a ton of mock draft content, and when we see people subscribe, it means we're going to keep pushing out content as well. I will be doing the second round of this mock draft coming up, I would say, in the next couple days after this is posted. So if you're new and want to watch that, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss that video. But let's hop straight into the mock draft. You guys know I'm big number one. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing this over and over again if you like watching mock draft content, but it'll be Trevor Lawrence, the best player in the draft. He will be a very good NFL player, and I'll be surprised if he isn't. I don't really see what I don't really see anywhere else. I mean, people are saying people are saying Urban Meyer, Justin Fields. There's no way that happens. He will be going, and he will be a Jacksonville Jaguar. Now to the Jets. I've been mocking Penei Sewell. I've been doing a couple of things, but I think I'm gonna go with. I think this is the first time I've done this for a while. I'm gonna go with Zach Wilson. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Zach Wilson. I love the intangibles he has, the accuracy he has. I think a problem that's starting to rise a bit is just how he protects his receivers. I love Zach Wilson. I think he'll be a very good quarterback. People are even saying he has a higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence. But nevertheless, the Jets need a quarterback. I don't think Darnold's the answer. I really, really like Darnold to Washington. Maybe they get a pick there. Maybe they get their first round pick. Who knows? And I think Zach Wilson will be the Jets' future guy with Salah in that new system with LaFleur. He said he likes it. So let's do that. Now goes into the Dolphins. But you probably clicked on this thumbnail you saw, and I'm not clickbaiting. I think right now this is a more of what I would do pick, and I love Devontae Smith. Don't get me wrong. I very, very like Devontae Smith. What's really starting to scare me is just how injury prone he may be in the NFL due to his size. He's a very skinny wide receiver. He's not as tall as Jamar. And I think Jamar overall will probably be better due to that and just due to skill. We have to remember Jamar opted out. We didn't see his full potential in a year before he got drafted. He could have been easily the best receiver. Obviously, Devontae Smith put up numbers we have never seen. Absolutely incredible, dominant wide receiver. I even saw Colin Cowherd, drafted Kyle Pitts to the Jets. Just wanted to talk about that. That was crazy. But Jamar Chase is the best receiver on the board. Or not, sorry, arguably the best receiver. I think he would be the best receiver in the NFL. Maybe he's not right now, but I really do like Jamar Chase here. And who knows? Tua might not even be the quarterback in the future. I think he should be, but let's see. I know that's the pick that people are already going to the comments about. But onto the Falcons pick. This is a tougher-ish one, simply because I feel like it's certainly not an easy one. I'm going to mock Penei Sewell, who I actually have been doing recently, to the Falcons. I know the Bengals are probably raging about that, but here's my reason why. You have Matt Ryan, you have an offensive coach, and I think the Falcons, if they make pushes in free agency or if they do some China trades or in the draft, I think Matt Ryan's your guy for at least the next 2 years. And I think Penei Sewell gives you that. He won't get sacked. Penei Sewell is incredibly laddery, very good at the second level. I love Penei Sewell, what he brings. So I think easily it has to be Penei Sewell here. But again, Pitts has been mocked here. Obviously, Fields has been mocked here, but I think that it'll be Penei Sewell. Now going on to the Bengals. Here's the thing. As of recent, I don't think the Bengals would be too mad if Penei Sewell went off the board, because they right here sitting for them will be Rashawn Slater. And Rashawn Slater has been mocked as the best tackle in the league due to his, his flexibility throughout the offensive line. He can basically play all five positions. I very, very much do love him and what really he brings to that team. And I think he can be a really, really good. So I think Rashawn Slater fits there to the Bengals. Sorry, cut out a bit there. But let's go on to the Eagles pick. Now, obviously, I think they're very, very happy. And again, I do not hate Devontae Smith. I think he's a very good receiver. But I think that they will go with him. And obviously, you've seen it even on TDN's draft board. He's gone down a bit. I love Devontae Smith. I think if he has any type of production like he did in college or any type of good quarterback, and I do like Jalen Hurts, I think he'll be a very, very talented quarterback, and I think he brings so much to this Eagles team if they decide to build around obviously Hurts. And your head coach, you don't know about him, so I think having two very good players can really bolster that organization. Now onto the Lions pick. This one's a tougher one. I mean, I think most likely, and I know I'm a Giants fan, but I think they'll go with Jalen Waddle just because of they need a wide receiver. It's looking more and more unlikely as the day passes that Waddle will be, Golladay will be a line next year, that Marvin Jones will be a line next year. And as a Giants fan, if you guys saw our offseason video, I had the Giants getting Golladay. So maybe Waddle falling to the Giants isn't as bad of a thing, or not falling to the Giants, excuse me. And I think Waddle just gives explosive ability to Goff, who's going to need help in a city that's much different from Los Angeles, to say the least. On to the Lions, or sorry, not the Lions pick, the Panthers pick. Here's the thing: it's getting likely this will not be their pick going in to the draft due to the Deshaun Watson rumors. If you guys saw our video on that, all that, again, we can't do trades, so I'm just gonna go that they don't get any quarterback besides Bridgewater, and I think that they'll go out. And people are going to hate me for this, but I think they'll go out and get Trey Lance. I know. Why not Fields? Why not Fields? I can see you going to the comments right now. Simply for the fact that I personally, I have doubts about Fields. I think he can be good, but I really like the upside Trey Lance is watching. And it's mostly because I've started Wilson and Lance. I've started to watch more film on, and I really like just that explosive ability that Trey Lance brings to your offense. He can run the ball. He's good at making smart decisions when he doesn't have a pass downfield, and he has a good arm and an accurate arm. So I think right now he fits that Panthers, young, high flying offense, those good receivers. Say you retain Curtis Samuel. And I think, you have Bridgewater, who's a perfect bridge quarterback in between him and then the young quarterback. And I think Trey Lance will be very, very good for the Panthers. Again, Justin Fields, I would not be surprised if we went here. I think they're both, comparable quarterbacks. But going on to the Broncos pick. This one, again, I mean, quarterback, again, could be addressed here as we don't know Drew Lock. I don't think they will. And I think the pick will be Patrick Surtain out of Alabama. I think he has very good coverage skills. I think he's very good at covering man. He's the best, corner in the draft. And again, I think with AJ Boye not being there, you don't really have a secondary. It was very injury prone last year. I think Patrick Surtain fits there perfectly as your cornerback one for the future. On to the Cowboys pick. Here, I feel it makes the most sense, as we've talked about. If Farley goes, if Surtain goes, then Farley will be after. Farley goes, then Surtain will be after. I feel like these corners will go 1 and 2. They'll be back to back due to the teams that are there in the position. The Cowboys desperately need cornerback in a division that's up and coming with Terry McLaurin, possibly a receiver if the Washington take one. Obviously, the Giants have been rumors either draft a receiver or get one in free agency. And then you have the Eagles, who I have getting Devontae Smith. So you need that cornerback one, or at least that pairing cornerback with Trayvon Diggs. And I think Surtain will be the perfect fit since they were teammates, but I think Farley isn't far off. They're very, very comparable. Arguably, Farley's better than Surtain. I think Surtain, though. Now on to my New York Giants. I would love to see Waddle. We haven't, so I think we go with the gadget wide receiver, not even tight end, Kyle Pitts. So much flexibility throughout the offensive line, off the line. He can play receiver, adjustable, that Darren Waller type receiver. That's a mismatch in any matchup. I really like what Pitts brings to the offense. We don't see this kind of talent really throughout the draft. I think a lot of positions in this draft are there's depth, but I think in tight end it's really Pitts, and that's kind of it. So Fairmouth, who would most likely be a second round pick, but I really do like Pitts a lot here. Now on to the middle of the thumbnail you probably saw. And that's going to be Justin Fields out of Ohio State to the San Francisco 49ers. I do like Justin Fields. I just think progression-wise and just ability to read defenses is not as amazing as other quarterbacks here, although I think Fields can be very good, and I think he can be one of the best quarterbacks. Again, there's just been a lot of people have been skeptical due to, Ohio State quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins, JT Barrett. We've seen just them kind of crash and burn. And I really do like Fields, and I think he might drop a little bit due to that. I know Lance is everyone's like, why would you not put Lance there? I just think that Fields will be their guy for the future. Garoppolo, you don't know his future there. Obviously, the Patriots have been in calls with them, and he said he's been open to a trade. He may, take out his no trade clause. So I think that the 49ers will be looking for a quarterback in the offseason. Now on to the Chargers pick. This is a tough one because I would love to see Micah Parsons match up with Kenneth Murray, but I think that they will go with Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech. Now, I know Samuel Cosme's here, but injuries just scare me a little due to his size. He's 6'7" and huge. Darrisaw, I know, isn't as much smaller, but I think Darrisaw is more of a fit for the Chargers. Obviously, he's a very good offensive tackle, very powerful, and I think he provides protection for Herbert, who you really need to protect as he flourished in 2020 and will be that quarterback of the future. So I really do like what he brings to the team. Moving on to the Vikings pick. This one is a tougher one. I think that they will ultimately go again. It is a tough one because Karamoa and obviously Parsons are intriguing, but I think offensive line needs to be addressed. So I think that they'll go with Samuel Cosme due to obviously his size, very powerful, long arms. And I think with Ezra Cleveland, who has moved inside, outside, he can kind of fit somewhere better on the offensive line with bringing in Cosme. And I think Cosme's still a very good guard, one of the top 5 guards in the class. So I think he fits with the Vikings very well. Now on to the Patriots pick. We've seen Belichick really, the Patriots, they got Brady and they've kind of crashed and burned. They don't have a quarterback. There's about 9 quarterbacks on the market, and there's about 9 teams that need them, and none of the quarterbacks are particularly outstanding. So you most likely need to go to a bidding war for a subpar quarterback. So I think they will most likely trade up for either, one of these. But as you probably saw, I have them going with, great to see Mac Jones trending up. I have them going with Mac Jones. I know, and it's been a controversial pick because, does Belichick go with a young quarterback? Does he rebuild at the age he's at? And I don't know, but again, there's no trades. I can't predict anything. So I'm just going to go solely off this mock draft. Mac Jones is a pure pocket quarterback. The only thing going for the Patriots is they have a good offensive line. You get Mac Jones weapons in free agency, which the Patriots have a ton of cap space. And I think, Mac Jones fits. He can throw the ball. He, arguably is a ready quarterback. People are saying, I don't know about that because he only has 1 year of experience, but I do like Mac Jones to the Patriots because I think the fit is there, either him or the Colts, but we've seen Wentz go to the Colts. Now on to the Cardinals pick. This one, again, a bit of a tougher pick, but I'm going to go with Najee Harris out of Alabama. Here's the reason, and I know I've really mocked him to the Bills and all that, and I know it's a very, very, very big reach. I can already tell there's going to be some people commenting down below. Before you do that, let me explain. Kenyon Drake will most likely leave. I don't think Kenyon Drake's that guy. And I mean, I know you need offensive line, arguably you need defensive line, you need, there's a couple of positions you do need, but I think Najee Harris is just that incredibly powerful running back who can provide that second option for the Cardinals, which they really didn't have. We saw Kenyon Drake was not good this year, and Hopkins was kind of only Kyler Murray's option, and Kyler Murray's getting hit all the time. He's a small guy. You need to be able to hand the ball off to Najee Harris, 20 times a game. And I think Najee Harris just, provides that big rundown back. Again, I could see them trading back here. They could go corner. But if you have a comment, let us know. But just, kind of think of the reasoning there. Now on to the Raiders pick. Parsons is here as well. Obviously Karamoa is here, and I'm going to go with Karamoa. I think he's my linebacker 1. It's tough, but I really like just his size and his hit power that he brings and just his explosiveness as well. Micah Parsons brings that, but I think my problem with Parsons is his off-field, just the problems with him off-field. And I think that Karamoa brings a very, very good explosive ability to the second level and to that front 7 of the Raiders. Now to the Dolphins pick, I think this might make it quite easy. I think that they will go with Micah Parsons here, and I think they'll go with Karamoa if Parsons were to be picked on the ladder. But they have a very, very good defense. We've obviously seen what they can do, and they go with Jamar Chase. So I don't think receivers a pick here, and maybe they go they have choices here. I think the Dolphins are in a very, very good position. They have a good roster, a playoff roster, and a ton of picks. And now it's the question of, do you go corner? Or no, not to corner. Do you go offense? You go offensive line. And I think they go with Parsons just because Van Noy's on a massive contract. He's getting older. And I think linebackers are a position of need on the defense. And I think Parsons is the best player on the board. So it makes sense to go there. On to Washington's pick. This one, I have them going, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to have them going with Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. I really, really like Rashad Bateman and his route running skills. I think he could be one of the, if not the best receiver in this class. And I think he's being heavily slept on. I think he can be that, Justin Jefferson type receiver in terms of the value he's taken in the draft. And like, oh my God, how is he taken before these guys? Again, might be a completely hot take. He might be awful, but I think he can be very good. His route running is incredible. He's a bigger guy, very good red zone threat. And for Washington, you don't really have that duo punch with McLaurin. And then who else? I mean, yeah, Thomas. Okay. Sims, no. 2 Sims. You can't forget about that. I think Bateman provides that if Heineke's your guy going forward. If you get Darnold, whichever quarterback you bring in, you need to give them weapons. Now to the Chicago Bears pick. This one is not a tougher one, but I think quarterback's obviously a need, as we've seen. And really, it's just looking like there isn't really much of an option. But I'm going to have them go with Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. I think offensive line is still a need. And I know, why aren't you taking Elijah Vera Tucker? I really like Tevin Jenkins and how he's risen up the board. And I think arguably he's flexible. So I think he fits there with the Bears. Now on to the Colts pick. Obviously, they do not need quarterback anymore. Etienne's there. You don't need running back. Edge is there, maybe. And I think that's what they go with. And it's a tougher one, but actually, sorry, I was going to say Kwity Paye. I really really would like to see J.C. Horn here. Aggressive corner and can really fit with that, Julian Blackman. You don't know if you're going to sign Malik Hooker. And then you have that defensive front and those linebackers. I think J.C. Horn could fit perfectly. And I think for value-wise, J.C. Horn falling to 21, he's a really good cornerback. And I really do like him. I think he's one of the top cornerbacks in the class. So I think the Colts snag him there. On to the Titans pick. I think they're very happy to see Kwity Paye fall. And I know people are saying Azeez Ojulari due to his, bendy pass rushing ability. But Kwity Paye is the best edge in the class, arguably. Very good at getting to the passer, and I think he fits the Titans well. Now on to the Jets' second pick. This is a tougher one. You need cornerback. I mean, you need everything if you're the Jets. You really do you need everything. So I think that their pick, I think it's tough. They need wide receiver. And I'm going to go wide receiver. I'm going to go Terrace Marshall. I really like his air ability. And I think with Zach Wilson, you need to give him a receiver, a target receiver. And I think Marshall can be that guy. I really think Bateman and him are slept on and can be very good receivers in the draft. Second LSU receiver to go in the first round. And I think Terrace Marshall could be incredible due to his, ability to catch catches in the air with contact. I think he can be a very good receiver. On to the Steelers pick. Now they need an inside offensive line. They need tackle. They do need a lot of things. And I think that and I really do like this, I think that they will go with Liam Eichenberg out of Notre Dame. I know he's arguably a second-round talent, but I think just his ability for run blocking, if you want to have a run game in Pittsburgh, you need an offensive lineman or an offensive tackle who can pound the ball to his side. Eichenberg's very good at the point of attack, very good at pushing defenders back and getting gaps for his running backs. So I think he's a good scheme fit for this Steelers team. Now we're going back to another team with a second pick in the NFL or in the draft, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, they need tackle, they need corner, they need a lot of things. They're just like the Jets. So I think right now they'll address offensive line and go Elijah Vera Tucker, someone who's very, obviously can be moved in and out. He can play tackle, he can play guard, and I think he provides that flexibility that is needed on the offensive line. We don't know the future of Cam Robinson, and I think Elijah Vera Tucker fits very well. Obviously, with Trevor Lawrence being your future guy, you need to protect him. On to the Browns pick. Edge is a need, and I would really love to see them go with Jalen Phillips out of Miami. Him arguably the best defensive end in the league. Him and Garrett. I don't know. I'm forgetting his first name. I almost said Jason Garrett. Him and Myles Garrett could be a very lethal duo. If you retain Ogunjobi, you have a good defensive line that can really compete in a division that's arguably the hardest in the league, a division that you need to get pass rush in with good running backs, with good quarterbacks. And I think that Jalen Phillips just provides that for them. On to the Ravens pick. I think they would have loved to see Terrace Marshall fall. Obviously, he hasn't. They need edge, and I think they will go with Gregory Rousseau out of Miami. Again, another guy who could be the best. He has so much raw potential, very big guy. And I think he just proved, obviously, Ngakoue's a free agent. And, Campbell had a very big drop off this year. Rousseau, we saw he got a lot of sacks from the inside. Can he get sacks from the outside? We don't know. But if he gets sacks from the inside, maybe you move him inside in a 3-4 type scheme. And I really like Rousseau there. On to the Saints. Now they need cornerbacks, their number one option. I believe Marshawn Lattimore has been included in some trade talks, which I think is crazy. But they need edge. They need a lot of things. This one's a tougher one. I think I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney out of Florida due to, very good gadget receiver, very good run and catch or run after the catch, very explosive in the middle of the field. And with Michael Thomas, you technically don't know the future of him. Sanders hasn't been amazing. You need that receiver to complement him and give more weapons to your quarterback, whether that's Hill or Jameis Winston if you re-sign him. Now to the Packers pick at 29, getting down to the end of this mock draft. They need receiver. They need offensive tackle. Obviously, it says they need corner. They need inside defensive line. And I would love to see Kenny Clark pair up with Christian Barmore in the inside. I really like Barmore. He started to trend up after the playoff run that Alabama made. Really good, powerful, big guy who can get into the gaps and get back. Good run stopper. I think he can become that, Tomlinson type guy out of college and can be a very, very good defensive lineman for this Packers team. Now onto the Bills pick, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Travis Etienne. I think right now if you give the Bills a good running back, I think that they can beat the Chiefs. I mean, they have all the things in place. They have a franchise quarterback, you don't call franchise wide receiver, a good wide receiver, a defense that's very capable. And if you give, again, it's like the Kyler Murray, Najee Harris. They don't really have a second outlet to go to besides throwing the ball. Singletary's too small. Zach Moss is a second running back who's more of a receiving back, but Etienne's that dual back. He can receive, he can be a downhill runner. He's very good at running the ball. He still has size. And I think if you're the Bills, it's just offensively, you were completely stopped by a subpar Chiefs defense that was really up and down throughout the season. And I think Etienne just gives you that back that you can consistently give the ball to all the time. With a good offensive line we saw from last year, I think Etienne could be very, very effective in their scheme. Now to the disappointing Chiefs at the end of the season. They need inside offensive line, and their pick has been decently boring. I don't know how he's fallen so much. Where is he? Oh, he really has fallen. I'm going to have him go with Wyatt Davis. Obviously, I think due to his injuries why he's falling, I still am very high on him. I think he's the best inside offensive lineman in the class. Very good. A big reason why Justin Fields got so much protection in Ohio. I think he's a good pass blocker. We saw what happened to Mahomes. He was running all over the place. I believe he ran 500 yards trying to get away from the Bucs defensive line. You don't know about injuries. And if you add him and you still get Schwartz, you still get Reiter, you get those good guys back, Duvernay, Tardif, you have a good offensive line going into 2021. Now on to pick 32, the Super Bowl winners. This one's a bit of a boring one, but I'm going to go with Azeez Ojulari as the last pick of the NFL draft or the NFL first round. I think he just is such a good pass rusher, gets to the quarterback very well, and I think he just provides that because Barrett's a free agent. JPP is getting older, and then Ndamukong Suh is a free agent. So you need to get a cheap option, especially as your team. Godwin's a free agent. You need to get a cheap option for your team going forward. And I think Ojulari gives that pass rushing dominance for the Buccaneers. Very bendy guy. But that was it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think. We absolutely love giving you guys mock drafts. If you can get this to 1,000 views, that would mean the world. If you can get it to 50 likes, that would be awesome. Comment down below. Make sure to follow all of our socials. They are linked down below: our Instagram, our podcast, our website, as well as our second channel where we post clips, or at least we try to. We're not as much as anymore. But make sure to subscribe. Our Instagram is where we're most active. You can comment down below, or you can DM us there what you thought of the video. Send a screenshot. We can shout you out if you did watch the video. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Sports Scoop. Make sure to come back for more mock draft content. As I said, I will be doing the second round of this mock draft, mostly either tomorrow or the next day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.